Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Combat Craig, and this is how to get a 100% VA rating for individual unemployability. Individual unemployability, or TDIU, stands for total disability, individual unemployability. I made a video about this yesterday, and you can go check that out here in the eye. It's over here, one of these places. I went a little more in depth on what TDIU is. So I'm going to focus today on Part B, which is extra schedular TDIU. And I'll explain how many veterans have turned their 0% VA rating into a 100% VA rating for individual unemployability. They went from 0 to 100. This is called the Holy Grail. Also, if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel and hitting the like button. It's free and it's easy. All right, so today we're talking about extra schedular TDIU. And this is a way to get a 100% VA rating for individual unemployability. In order to win this claim, you're going to want to submit a vocational assessment along with your individual unemployability claim. And I left a well-written example in my boot camp, and you can check that out at combatgrade.com. Extra schedular TDIU can be found under 38 CFR 4.16b. And the law says that all veterans who are unable to secure and follow a substantially gainful occupation by reason of service-connected disabilities shall be rated totally disabled. This means that all veterans with any service-connected disability with any rating, including a 0% VA rating, should be rated at 100% if the disability prevents you from working. The VA's done a really good job of hiding this one, and they do a piss poor job of explaining it, and they make it more complicated than it needs to be. But it really comes down to this. And here's an example. You have a 0% rating for hearing loss. Your hearing gets worse. Your 0% rating doesn't go up because they don't, because they're the VA, right? If your hearing loss prevents you from working, you could file an extra schedular TDIU claim and win it and go from 0 to 100%. This is huge. No wonder the VA doesn't advertise this too much. They say that extra schedular TDIU claims require special handling and they need to be approved by the director versus just the VA rater. The way they market this makes it sound like it's impossible to overcome, and it kind of sounds like, you know, if you have the director involved, it's going to take longer and, you know, it's going to be much harder. I talked with a vocational expert recently, and he said that he's won just as many extra schedular individual unemployability claims as he's won schedular individual unemployability claims, because it's all about the evidence. When you get a vocational assessment involved, a vocational expert doesn't care either way. If you have the evidence, using my example, if you have the evidence to prove that your 0% hearing loss prevents you from working, he can make it stick. And this, going by the director, he just kind of laughed. I mean, how long does it take for a claim? Anywhere from a day, a week, to 7 years. So how much longer is it possibly going to take? The VA moves slow as a snail anyway. Don't let that bother you. Don't let that deter you. They say it needs to run by the director. Perfect. Put that shit on his fucking desk and let's get this done. If you could prove that any one of your service-connected disabilities prevents you from working, then a vocational expert can take that information and do a write-up for you that the director's going to have to approve. The director's not fancy or special. He has to go by the law. Not that any of his raters or him go by the law anyway, but he doesn't have any special kryptonite or special powers against a vocational assessment. A vocational assessment will smoke his ass too. And as I mentioned in my last video about VA individual unemployability, which is linked here or linked in the eye, he can't rebut it. He can't argue it. He doesn't have a vocational expert to do the rebutting or the arguing with at his disposal. He can't challenge the opinion. Now, you have to be able to prove that your disability prevents you from working here. And, you know, the hearing loss example is a great example, but let me give you another one. Let's say you're 79 years old and you retired when you were 65. So you haven't worked in 14 years. And your 0% hearing loss rating that's been bothering you since 1971 has always been a problem for you when you did work, because you can't hear shit. The problem is worse now. Your hearing aids are starting to fail you and squeaking or whatever hearing aids do. I can't wait for that to happen to me. But by law, you meet the criteria for extra scheduler TDIU because you're service connected at 0% and your disability prevents you from working. The fact that you haven't worked because you're retired isn't part of the equation. That may be factual, but it's not about if you're retired or if you have a job or whatever. I mean, if you have a job, it's kind of hard to make that argument. Yeah, I can't work, but you're working. So if you're not working, this is the way to go. And being retired, they can't do shit about it. The VA cannot use your age against you, and the marker is that you're not working, right? The fact that you're retired can't be used against you. Lots of people retire, they pick up another job to make a little extra cash on the side, but you can't because of your service-connected disability. No Walmart greeter job for you. Your service-connected disability prevents you from being a Walmart greeter. So you're at a disadvantage due to your service-connected disability. You see where I'm going with this? It's all about your 0% service-connected disability preventing you from working. You throw out a scenario, I'm going to throw a vocational expert and a vocational assessment at it, and they'll spin it up for you. Go find a vocational expert. And VR&E, they're not vocational experts. They're not even counselors. They call themselves counselors. That whole thing's a fucking clown show. VR&E, it's complete bullshit. I mean, I'm biased. I'm biased all over the place because the VA is just full of shit. But VR&E is one of those really good ones that I failed. And I realized that, they're not counselors. They're actually should name them job preventers. They don't counsel anything. Go find a vocational expert that can help you with a TDIU claim and file it. Then come back and leave me a comment and tell me how you went from 0% to 100%, which again is called the Holy Grail. Come on back and leave a comment. Veterans need to know this is possible, and veterans do it. If you need a VA disability lawyer to help you out with this process, you might want to check out hillandponton.com. They might be able to help you with your claim. They're accredited, all that kind of stuff. Or you could just do it yourself and get your own vocational expert. I'll see you in the next video.